the world champion, the winner of this tournament is here. Magnus Carlsen, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Let's bring in Tanya for further questioning.
Magnus, big congratulations from all of us as well as the social media world, which is wishing you a lot of love and a lot of luck for the tournaments coming. Well done.
Thank you.
Today, you made it look easy.
Yeah, today was obviously a much better day than yesterday. The first game never really got going, and then in the second game it was unbelievably complicated, but it seemed that I was sort of always on the better side there.
And do you think that because it's been the format itself is pretty brutal and Jan had an extremely difficult semifinals, do you think stamina and energy also played a role and perhaps made it harder for Jan?
I can imagine that. Obviously, I've won my matches so far with pretty much the minimum amount of games, so clearly that helps. Yeah, it was clear that he didn't really have it today.
Yeah, we felt that as well, especially if you compare this day 2 of the finals to what happened yesterday. Magnus, let's quickly take a look at the games before we quiz you a little more on other stuff. Game 1 was it was a different opening approach from the very beginning from you, from what we saw yesterday. And Judith was quizzing Jan at the beginning that what is it that that plays into you deciding what kind of openings to go for. So in general, what was the approach coming into today and playing a different opening altogether?
Tell you the truth, I had other sharper plans, and then I just decided at the board, basically, you know, stuff it. I'm just gonna go for the London, and yeah, it worked out well. So I cannot actually complain.
It did, and the reason for that seemed to be this move f5 by Jan on the board. If we can just go, let me just bring up that position. What was it? Look, sorry, go on.
No, yeah, sure. I was kind of half hoping for f5, but I thought it was such a serious blunder that it could never happen. But yeah, before this, it was obviously very complicated position with so many different options, right? So it was really hard to judge what was going on, and I mean, yeah, I just gotta get there.
Yeah, because right before f5, it did look like Jan had managed to complicate the position, and it looked like a position to play for all 3 results. But then after f5, just completely falls apart for black.
Yeah, after f5, it's a position of 1 result, really. So that was kind of unfortunate for him, obviously.
And then we had game 2, which also went unfortunately for him. And I want to discuss this moment where he played rook h4. Yeah, right here. Did you think about this knight f4 option? Did you calculate this? Because we were discussing this in the commentary.
Yeah, that was a big choice at this point. Eventually, I sort of decided along the lines of I wanted to. I don't know. I felt that this was a bit too passive, so I wanted to fight for the initiative more than this. Like he would trade queens and then go knight a5. And next he will go king g3, and then my knight will be kind of marooned on h4, and practically it seemed like a really poor choice, and I think also probably objectively his position is pretty good here. So it's just an extra option that I didn't eventually go for. If I was going to go for this, probably I would just have to go knight f4, queen f2, and then take on c4. But that didn't seem very promising. For instance, takes and then castle.
You're absolutely on the money with your evaluation about that ending having a lot of compensation and actually being even slightly better for white. This is something that even the engines as well as everybody on the commentary agreed on. Did you consider after bishop h4 king f1 at all?
Yeah, I mean, all of the king moves actually make some sort of sense. King d2, king d1, and also king f1. I didn't consider it much other than I'll go knight f4, he'll take, I'll take back. If e5, then, castles shouldn't be too bad. I didn't see how it would lose immediately, and I felt if it doesn't lose immediately, it cannot be that awful. That was basically my considerations here.
And in this game, sorry, go on.
Yeah, sure.
No, I was just wondering that where in this game, because the way you played actually was fantastic. But at what point did you feel that you were much better in this game?
I only felt that I was much better after queen g2 in the game. I think queen g2 was kind of poor, because I thought he would go bishop b7, and so I can either give up the rook or probably just go rook cd8, which makes a lot more sense. But these kinds of positions, you never know. He's gonna have a 3-0 majority on the queen side. I'm gonna have 4 against 1 on the king side. I'm an exchange up, but he's gonna have some well-placed pieces. I will have some well-placed pieces. I mean, it was just a position where, I mean, you can feel that your position is good, but there's no way you can feel comfortable whatsoever. So it was only after queen g2 that I felt good. That's one of the weaknesses of, or probably the main weakness of his game, that he sometimes plays excessively for tricks. And I think this was certainly one such case where he needed to take a more normal approach and just take the material back while he could, because playing for tricks just landed him in a lost position.
Right, that's a fascinating insight into Ian's play. Now, Magnus, like we said that today, wrapping up the match in 3 games, you have not lost a single match in this entire event. That makes it to 13 matches. 13 matches, right? In terms of scoreline throughout the tour of the Magnus Carlsen Chess Tour, this has been your best performance. But what about in terms of the competition you faced and in terms of your level of play? Which one has been, according to you, your best shape in this tournament, in this tour so far?
I would say that I played, for most of the tournament, I think I played somewhat better in the Chessable Masters. So I'm not like 100% satisfied. Today was good. Obviously, it was mostly good, but I felt that in the Chessable Masters it was even better. Perhaps except from the final days, from the final day of the finals and also the first day of the preliminaries. But the result, of course, is wonderful. But there are always things to to work on, and there's the final coming up where I'll be facing, I think, even tougher competition than I had here. So I always need to be better.
But that's obviously the whole point of the tour, to have the players who perform the best throughout the tour, to have them play in the final. Magnus, I think you've always expressed this feeling that you're not 100% satisfied with your play, and that's always been interesting because you seem to be winning it all. And it's a bit of a joke that in the Magnus Carlsen chess tour, which you organize, which is insanely entertaining, you call all these best guys in the world, these legends, to come and play, and then you're just crushing everyone and sort of just winning everything on your own, off your own tour. So what do you got to say about that?
The others have to step it up. That's the main part, right? But I mean, I have lost one match against Nakamura, and in my mind, that's too many. So I'm never completely satisfied.
Talking about that match against Hikaru, in fact, he has been the only player who beat you in this entire tour and knocked you out of the semi-finals. You will be facing him in the finals, and we know how competitive you are. Is that something you're looking forward to?
Will I play him in the semi-finals?
You're playing him in the semis, and then if you're playing Ding Liren in the semis of the finals. But perhaps you could face Hikaru.
Oh, yeah. I think obviously whoever I play in best of fives, and hopefully there's going to be a best of seven for me as well. It's gonna be awesome. Lots of days of good chess, and probably some ups and downs as well. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And the turnaround is so short that there's no room to rest.
And Magnus, on knowing that you will be playing Ding in the semis of the Magnus Carlsen Chess Tour final, what are your first thoughts about facing him?
It's gonna be unbelievably tough. He obviously had a terrible event here, but he's shown such class in the other events of the tour that yeah, it's plain to see that he's a very strong opponent. So I just hope his internet's going to be fine in general, and that we're going to have some exciting duels.
Talking about exciting duels, the excitement never seems enough for you, because we've often seen you after your games here and this brutal format, you go on to play more chess on the internet, and that's happened time and time again. What is it, not enough chess happening for you, or is that part of the cool down?
I'm just an addict. I like chess. That's the main takeaway.
That is a great takeaway. And Magnus, you will be doing a simul, apparently no rest for the wicked. You're going to be doing a simul with a lot of players on the 6th of August before the finals. And a lot of viewers have signed up for it. What would be your advice to them? What is it that they got to do to give you a tough fight in a simul?
I have no idea.
Okay,
Play quickly, play well, hope for the best. I mean, seriously though, I've gotten lots of great fights from people of all strength in Banter Blitz before, and I think this format is going to even the chances even more. So it's I'm sure there's going to be some good games.
we're looking forward to that. But before that, also tell us, what are your plans of celebration? It's been a tough event. You've smashed the field. You've had a great tournament, this one. How are you planning to celebrate?
I'm going to celebrate by thinking of what I'm going to do against Ding. That's all.
I think there's some problem with the Magnus. Could you adjust your mic? We couldn't hear you. Or I missed.
Yeah, I'm going to celebrate by thinking of my match against Ding.
Already? Not too soon?
No, that's not too soon.
Okay, well, from my side, Magnus, that's all the questions I got. Thank you so much. Congratulations. And Jan, Judith, any questions for Magnus?
I just like to congratulate to you for today and yesterday's. It was you're really a great champion. I'm always amazed to follow you, and it was a great pleasure to commentate today's games. Unfortunately, Jan couldn't make it up to move 20. Neither of the game, or more or less, then it was already decisive. But it's incredible how you make the winning positions converted into real victories. So thanks very much for being here and showing the performance.
Nothing to add. Impressive stuff. Thanks, everybody. It's been great.
Thank you.